Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to Melinda's Messy Sink. Today we will be making Crunchy Ramen Noodle Coleslaw. Sometimes it's called Crunchy Ramen Noodle Salad as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to chop up these large pieces of cabbage into more bite-sized pieces manually with our little chopper thing here. All right. And what you do, you notice I've got a pretty big bowl here. The reason for that is so there's lots of surface area on the bottom so that we can chop, have something hard to chop up against. And literally all you're doing is just putting some muscle into it and you are breaking up the cabbage. All right, so you're gonna do this until you get your cabbage as fine as you want it. So we're starting to get it in smaller chunks. I'm gonna take a break from doing this. All right, the next fun thing that we get to do is I have taken 2 packages of our chicken flavored ramen noodle mix, ramen noodle soup, and I've put them in a gallon bag. And what we need to do is we need to break these up, the actual noodle packs, into smaller pieces. And I have my rubber mallet. I'm gonna be using the flat side, not the pointy side or whatever you call this side. So, and then in the soup, I have reserved the little packets. We're gonna use those later. However, big or small that you want these is completely up to you. I try to get them into bite-sized pieces because they are going to be the crunchy part of our salad. You also don't want them to be pulverized into dust. So if you're having a bad day, just know that you don't want them to be pulverized. But you want to break up that big brick. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna work on our dressing. I will be sure to link the recipe in the description box below. The recipe says that this is the measurements that you start with and then you adjust it to taste. So I have canola oil, white vinegar, I have red wine vinegar, 2 teaspoons of sugar to start with. And then I'm going to give this a mix and get everything well incorporated and get that sugar to dissolve. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna try a little bit on the back of this spoon. Okay, it's a little bitter, so we might have to add some more sugar. Let's go ahead and add in our chicken flavor packets that we reserved from the ramen noodle soup mix. Okay, let's give this another try. I have a clean spoon and I want to lick it, or not, I want to taste it off the back of the spoon. We are getting somewhere. The recipe calls for a ½ cup of green onions. I don't like green onions. My husband loves them. So I'm going to let him add some fresh green onions to his portion of this, but I'm not gonna add it to the base. However, I am going to add 1/3 cup of sunflower seed. So this is another dimension of the crunchy. And this is kind of what we're looking like here. Okay, I've spent some more time getting this chopped up and I just kind of wanted to show you, it's like we just said earlier, it's completely your preference on however fine that you want it chopped. All right, so I've got this in a good spot, your cabbage. When I say this, I've got your cabbage in a good spot, and now I'm going to add my dressing. All right, and then we're gonna give everything a stir to get all of that dressing all over the cabbage. This coleslaw is great for outdoor events because there's no mayonnaise in it and you don't have to worry about the mayonnaise going bad. Let's talk a little bit about these crushed up ramen noodles. The recipe says that you should add these in about 2 hours before you're going to serve your coleslaw. I'm gonna transfer this over to a smaller dish so that it doesn't take up so much room in my refrigerator. And this is what it looks like without the ramen noodles. All right, now is the most important part. We get to taste it. Y'all. I love this stuff. It's a little sweet from all that sugar, and then it's got a little bit of bite from the vinegar, and then you've got that crunchy coleslaw, and we'll have those crunchy noodles. Oh, y'all. I gotta figure out what kind of meat I'm gonna make on the grill tomorrow to go with this coleslaw. We're gonna let the refrigerator do the rest of the work, and this is the last part of our summer side dish series. I just want to tell you guys again how much I appreciate you watching. If you have enjoyed this series, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, I would ask you to please do so to join our fun cooking YouTube community. Don't forget, Jesus loves you. I'll see you guys in the next one.